Yo, what's going on, man? This is your boy Super Mario, man, and you are in the Yo with your boy, man. Today we're going to be talking and continuing our part series on the Tom Hilbe equipment company out of Los Angeles, and checking out their demo trial on their mic pre plugins. We already did a video on the Fat Pre, the Mo5 Pre, and now we're going to be doing one on the Mo67 Pre. Now this particular mic pre is probably the creme de la creme. It was featured on the Plugin Alliance website, which I totally missed out on the chance to grab this plugin. I'm gonna try to see if I can grab this plugin or whatnot, man, because it is pretty cool, but I probably missed out on the chance and everything like that. But if we go to the website at www.tomhilbe.com and you go to plugins and stuff like that, you'll definitely get a chance to read up on these plugins. They're really, really cool. They you have a chance to again, try out the free trial, also get the perpetual plugin license. And I'm gonna be honest with you, these bad boys, they do not come at a cheap price. Stuff like that, man. They start out at $99 with the Fat Pre, but with the Mo67 and the Mo5, you're definitely going to get that $199 price tag with tax. You feel me? This particular Mo67 plugin, though, is based off the Melcore circuitry and everything like that. Now, I did not know none of this. I did not know the Hilbe plugins even existed, yet alone Tom Hilbe had hardware products as well, man. That slipped by me on that one right there, man. I thought I didn't seen it all, but I did not know about this company out of Los Angeles. But their Melcore circuitry is based off of the based off of a military spec audio equipment console from the United States military, which was used in AM and FM radio market back in the 60s and 70s. So this particular Melcore circuitry has this broadcast sound to it that actually was used in a lot of 60s and 70s rock and roll or whatnot. The Melcore sound it's a 1731 op amp, and that 1731 op amp, it just adds that mojo. It adds life into your recordings. It adds excitement, it adds a fullness to your sound source or whatnot. Now the Melcore circuitry actually came out before API, so what they have on their website is basically before there was an API, there was Melcore. So we're going to check it out against the API preamps and everything like that and see what it's working with, and make sure that this is going to bring the house down and stuff like that. I'm assuming because of it being at the top of the website, this is the creme de la creme of their preamp plugins and everything like that. So without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and get into Ableton Live, man, and check out this bad boy right here. Now it's a little bit different. Yes, it does have the Melcore circuitry right here, and this is how you get more or less of that particular circuitry for us adding that mojo into your signal. It has the same functions as the Mo5 for as the fat and the bypass, but what you don't get with the Mo5 is a high Z option. So you have a high impedance option that you can inject in there, and you have a output meter, which is very, very handy to see how much drive you can push in. I like that kind of API-ish. I'm just saying API-ish or whatnot. You have your preamp right here. You have a phase invert button, and another button that you have is really, really cool is a impedance selector. So if you want 1200 ohms, keep it real clean, you got 1200 ohms. I'm assuming when you push that in, you get 300 ohms, and you're really gonna get some dirt out of this particular circuit right here, man. So I'm kind of excited to do this showdown with the Mo67 from Tom Hilbe plugins. Let's go ahead and pull up its number one competitor, which is the API. All right, so we're gonna kind of do it in different sequential order. I normally was doing plugins in the last two videos, but we're gonna do the API plugin vision strip and everything like that. and I just got to reset that and turn that off. We're gonna do the API Vision Strip plugin first, and then we're gonna do our hardware, because I have a Warm Audio TB12 Tone Beast TB12, and that's based off of API 512 preamp. So we getting two different type of API emulated preamps. We have a plug-in version of a 212 API preamp, and then a hardware version of an API 512 preamp against the Mo67. Who gonna win? I don't know, but let's go ahead and check it out or whatnot. We have a scratch vocal. If you haven't watched the first two videos and everything like that, I'm gonna make sure that everything is in bypass right now, and we're good to go. I'm gonna let you guys check out the vocal that we have, and then we'll go ahead and start checking out the Mo67 against its competition. Now, the competition, of course, is the Warm Audio TB12 API Vision Strip, but we also have the UAD 6176, the UAD Manly VoxBox, the UAD Avalon 737, and we have the UAD Neve 1073, along with hardware units, which is we have the A.R.T, yes, the A.R.T, Applied Research Technology TPS2 dual tube preamp. It's not really tube, it's more like a little bit of hint of tube and a little bit of solid state. But we have this bad boy right here. We have the Alctron, yes, the Alctron, Chinese made Neve clone 1073 and preamp, and then we're gonna do it with the EQ engaged and with the EQ out gauge, and of course we talked about the Tone Beast TB12 right there, man. So without further ado, man, let's go on ahead and get into this bad boy right here. Let's go. We'll go ahead and engage that scratch vocal so you guys can check it out. And 6, 7, 8.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
All right, let's go ahead and engage the Mo67.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
That's less of the milk core.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
More of the milk core.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
Good, jeez.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
So that's with the fat engaged.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and
This is with the high impedance.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
Wow.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and engage the 300 ohms.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
I'm gonna keep it right where it's at because I already did my gain staging with the original source. All right, let's go bypass and check out the API.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
The Mo67.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
With the high Z in.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
go ahead and engage the 300
Eggs
ohm.
and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
The Mo67 is still
Mama's
playing.
on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and bypass the Mo67 UAD.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Let's try to get
Eggs and bacon.
the Mo67
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
match the tone of the API.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
So that's the API right there.
Eggs and bacon. Mama.
All right, cool. So we're gonna take the Mo67 and try to match the tone of the API. Here we go.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, cool. So basically, I kind of got it almost the same, man. That is crazy with the 212. All right, so what we did was we had to engage the 300 ohm circuit, all right, and we wasn't gonna get it with the FET for sure. I engaged the high impedance button, but it was a little bit too much. But what I did was backed off just a hair on the mil core circuit, and we kind of almost got it identical. It's gonna be hard to say and everything like that, and I know somebody gonna be in the comments, why well, you didn't do this. I'm going by ear, you know what I'm saying? You do your own test because there's a free trial, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just opening it up to see how people to hear and to understand, you know what I'm saying, the capabilities that you can do with the Mo67. And for me, just off of this first rundown with the API, I could tell this preamp is not just a preamp, it's more of a color box. Because anytime you have switchable or variable ohms, you can get different flavors of the preamp. Anytime you have a high impedance switch, you can get different flavors of the preamp. Really, what's really cool is when you have what we call a mojo knob, where you can inject different types of flavors of a circuitry, whether it's an op amp or a transformer, and you can select how much more or less, like it says here on the graphic. That's really, really good because you can add different colors and saturations and distortions in that signal. So the Mo67 is more of a color box, and I like it like that. You feel me? But let's listen to it one more time. Just wanted to give you guys a break on that, and let's hear it back with the fixed sound of the 212 API and the Mo67. Let's play it one more time.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
API.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove cooking grits.
Man, this is tough.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
So this Mo67 is more open right there in that high mid range. Not too much on the top highs, but the high mid range is a little bit more open. You get a little bit more bandwidth. I mean, a tad bit more than you do with the API 212. That sounds really, really good, man. I'm loving that so far, man. So what I want to do is kind of set it back up how I had it originally, just engaging the ohm out. We'll go ahead and get rid of the API vision strip because it's the last video that I'm doing. So we can go ahead and get that out of there. If it'll allow me to delete it. There it is right there. we'll go ahead and move on to the UAD 6176. All right, cool deal. So you all know what the UAD you already know what this is, man. You know what I'm saying? You've seen it before. This is the UAD 610 preamp, and it is a really, really legendary preamp. But on this particular shootout, we disengaged and bypassed the compressor in the EQ section, and on the gain we have 5+ dB on the gain, and then we have the input set at line. All right, and we have our level match with the source volume. So we're gonna go ahead and check it out in between the two. These are two different type of circuitries, but you know what I'm saying, we're just testing it out to see how it fits with my regularly used preamps in my system. All right, let's go ahead and give it a shot. So what we're gonna do is just basically bypass everything and check out the source.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, let's start out with the 6176.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Let's go to the Mo 67.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Wow.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon.
6176.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Now what I want to do is try to match the tone from the 67 right with the 6176. All right,
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
All right, I'm thinking it's gonna be this 300 ohm button.
Mama's on the stove.
And let's back off on the male core.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
That's what it is.
Mama's on the stove.
That's what it is. So this male core circuit is very, very, very aggressive. And as you turn it more this way, you add more top end. And that's what I'm starting to discover here. So let's play the male core one more. Yeah, let's play the Mo 67 one more time.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Damn.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Dang, that male core circuitry is, I like it.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
That is crazy.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
That is crazy. All right, so we basically matched it. You know what I'm saying?
Mama's on the stove.
Bypass.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
Even when we have less of the male core, you still have a wide openness in that top high mid frequency range and whatnot, man. That sounds really, really good. And I didn't even have to touch the preamp. Basically, this 300 ohm is the magic, you know what I'm saying, to basically not make it sound airy. Now, when we pop that out, you're really going to hear the air. Check this out. I'm going to go ahead and pop out the 300 ohm, have it at 1200 ohm. Check this out.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
See how open and airy that is? That sounds really good. Check out this.
Mama's on the stove.
Check out the 6176.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, Mo 67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
So I want you to pay attention to the word cooking grits. Cooking grits. All right, check that out.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
You see how it has more air on certain words, and listen to the 6176.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Yeah, so the Mo 67 is a bad boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a bad preamp, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This is a bad preamp, and I'm loving it. All right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and pop out that impedance right there, and we're gonna move on to the next plugin. It was good seeing you, 6176. Catch you later. All right, cool. The Manly VoxBox. Now we all know this as a bona fide tube preamp. We have the tube circuitry engaged at 55 dB, adjusted the input knob so we can match the source volume on our vocal and everything like that. And everything off to the right, the EQ, the de-esser, and the compressor section is turned off. So let's check it out against the VoxBox and the Mo 67, man. We'll go ahead and start out with the VoxBox first. All right, let's go ahead.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and
67.
bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs
VoxBox.
and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and
67.
bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, so on the Mo 67,
eggs and bacon.
I brought down
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
the mill core circuitry
Eggs and bacon.
to see if it'll match with the Manly VoxBox.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove.
So let's see how close we get.
Grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Let's engage the 300 ohms.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
I'm gonna bring down the preamp.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
I think we got it, man. All right, so what we did was we brought down that mill core circuitry there. We engaged the 300 ohms, and then we brought down the preamp gain. All right, so let's play the first phrase. Manly VoxBox is on.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
And here's the Mo 67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
That is crazy. VoxBox one more time.
Mama's on the stove.
All right, and Mo 67.
Mama's on the stove.
All right, back and forth.
Mama's on the stove for cook. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove for.
Bring up the mill core just a tad bit.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
Let's go ahead and bring in that 1200 ohm button. All right, and see if we can match that max. We almost there with the VoxBox though. Let's say.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
That is it.
Mama's on the stove.
Woo. Let's bring down the mill core circuitry just a tidget. Back to the VoxBox.
Mama's on the stove.
Mill core Mo 67.
Mama's on the stove.
Close.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
That's the VoxBox 67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
I mean, you can play around with it more to fine tune it just with these two devices, but I'm telling you, there's something about this Mo 67 that puts a smile on my face, because 3 plugins in, we have damn near match the tone of these legendary processors. Even though they're plug-in format, you know what I'm saying, it still is matching the cloniness, the emulation, and everything like that. That is very, very impressive, man. This Mo 67, whew, man, that is nice, man. All right, so I forgot to do the hardware in sequential order, so let's go ahead and pull up the hardware. All right, and let's get our camera angle here, and let's go to our triple box. All right, cool deal. So we have the TB12, which is right here, you know what I'm saying? And I already have it set at certain things and everything like that. We're just gonna kind of try it out. So we're gonna pretty much put our settings back where I had them at before. All right, and yeah, we should be good. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. All right, so this is the Mo67 up first.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, and this is the WA TB12.
Mama,
and let's keep that solo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Oh, let's bypass that. All right, so this is the warm audio TB12. I had it both of them on.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, the warm audio.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, so I'm just gonna stop it right now. With that 1200 ohm selector in, it's definitely gonna give us the high end. We're gonna take it out, put in the 300 ohm, and we're gonna engage the fat. All right, and we're gonna bring down the mil cord to about this little red notch here. So basically, right at the knob indicator, right at pointing at 9 o'clock. All right, and now let's play the API. Or should I say, I'm sorry, the warm audio TB12.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Let's play the Mo67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Man, that's so close. Let's take out the 300 ohm.
Mama's on the stove.
We still gonna get that top end sheen. TB12.
Mama's on the stove.
67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
I had them both bypass.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, so what I'm gonna do now is take down that mil core circuitry all the way. Let's see if it'll match the TB12.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
That's the mil core
Eggs and bacon.
Mo67 right there.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, and here's the hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
Okay, so that's with the fat circuitry in. Let's take it out. We're gonna keep our same settings. Here is the Mo67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, so here's the warm audio TB12.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
TB12.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
That's crazy. So the TB12, warm audio TB12, it doesn't have that high end sheen. It doesn't have that high end sheen, but with the Mo67, just tweaking it a little bit, we were able to get the same color as the API. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't know why I want to call this TB12, this Tone Beast API, but it's modeled after API 512 preamp. But the warm audio Tone Beast Black, we're able to get a different color. The same color with the Mo67, which is very, very impressive. So again, you know what I'm saying? This thing is it's a Swiss Army knife of getting different type of flavors from different type of preamps that are out there. And we talking about very expensive preamps in the hardware world and also in the plugin format. And it don't get no better than a UAD plugin. You feel what I'm saying? So that is very, very good. Let's go ahead and play these two now that I got the tone matching together and play with the music and see what we can hear in the difference. You're probably going to hear more of the high end for sure with the Mo67, but the TB12 is going to hold its on based on the bandwidth because it's the outboard gear. Let's go ahead and hit play, and we're going to start with the warm audio TB12.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, plug in.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs
Hardware.
and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
Plug in.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
Hardware.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and
Plug in.
bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, let's do a little stop and start. Here we go. So this is the plugin
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
and the hardware.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
It just depends on how well it seats in the mix or whatnot. So that is the TB12, man. Whew, this plugin is beating some ass right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Overall sound, man, the Mo67 still sounds good to me. No cap. No fucking cap at all. All right, we're gonna keep it going, man. We got 4 more processors to go. We have the Avalon 737. Now, this one right here, this is going to be very interesting because we all know that Avalon has that top end sheen, and this Mo67 is capable of that top end sheen. So we're going to go back and reset our parameters as we had it. And yeah, let's go ahead and start out with the Mo67. Y'all know what the source vocal sounds like. Let's go ahead and engage the Mo67. Check it out.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
UAD.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, cool. So we got the UAD off. We have the Mo67 on. I backed off on the male core and engaged the high impedance. Let's see if we have the same type of tone. Here we go.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
All right. Here's the Avalon.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
Very top end polished. Here's the Mo67.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
Wow. Let's do that one more time. Mo67.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
High impedance off.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
Whew. Avalon.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
67.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
Avalon.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
That's the 67.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits.
It's like a tone difference in the in that high mid. That's this is close. The Avalon sounds real high sheen polished, but it's something about this Mo67 that's making it a little bit more. It's the same tone, but it's making it a little bit more aggressive, which I like. Let's take down the male chord just a hair bit. All right. I'm talking about one notch. All right, let's do it one more time, y'all. One more time. So 737 Avalon.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, 67.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs
Man.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon.
The Mo67 got it by a stretch. Not a stretch. It's got it by just a tad bit, man, because that openness, man, it's just open. You know what I'm saying? It's just open. On that, man, hold on. Let's go ahead and solo this real quick.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
So that's the Mo67.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon.
All right, Avalon.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon.
So the Avalon sounds a little bit more nasal. You know what I'm saying? There's some type of bump in the high mid or the mid range. There's a bump. I mean, a very sharp bump in the mid range. And be mindful that the EQ is off, the compressor off, the filters are off. Just this preamp, you know what I'm saying? Line input preamp, very, very mild preamp, but whatnot. It has its own distinct flavor, I have to say. And the Mo67, again, we made some adjustments there, and it's like almost there. I think the advantage is that we can't find that bump here. Let me engage the fat and see if we can get the same tonnage. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to the 737 one more time.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, and the Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
That may have been it right there. Avalon.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Avalon.
Mama's on the stove.
Mo.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
Avalon.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove for
Mo.
Mama's on the stove. Mama's on the stove.
That's what it was. So the fat actually gave it that little bump right there in that mid range. This is crazy, man. My pocket is burning. All right, cool deal, man. So that is it with that one right there, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't had a lot of plugins, but this Mo67 is something. It's something I never came across of, because it is a adjustment. It is a color box in a very, very small format. All right, so the next one we have here is the UAD 1073. We're almost done right here, man. Actually, you know what? We're gonna save the plugin for last. Let's go ahead and hit the hardware unit here. And what we got here is the A.R.T TPS2, which is this purple unit right here. Now, be mindful that if you don't know anything about the A.R.T TPS2 preamp, it's a dual 2-channel preamp. It's not really two, but it's more tube solid state, but it has its own distinct functions to it. The V3 frequency, the V3 voicing selector knob, it gives you different source presets and everything like that, but it's basically an EQ adjustment based on what type of instrument that you're going to be using. We have it on the warm vocal preset. We have our input impedance knob at 150 ohms, our preamp gain matching the source. Let's go ahead and check it out against the Mo67. Let's go. So we're going to play the hardware first, the A.R.T TPS2.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon.
All right, Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon.
All right, and let's play the hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon.
All right, let me stop it right there. I'm gonna bring down the ohm because on the hardware the ohm is set at it's set at 150 ohms. The lowest we can do on the plugin is at 3 300 ohms. I'm sorry about that. The lowest we can go is the 300 ohms on the plug-in. So let's go ahead and play the hardware one more time.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits, eggs and bacon.
And let's play the plug-in.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Ooh, a little aggressive.
Eggs and bacon.
Let's bring the high impedance in.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, and hardware.
Mama's on the stove.
And plug in.
Mama's on the stove.
Damn, that's close. Plug in. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second. Plug in.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Let's bring up a little bit of the male core circuitry. Plug in.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
That's interesting. So when you hit that, that's interesting. When you hit the high Z, it kind of disables the male core. Interesting.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Okay. And the RTPS2.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
And the plug-in.
Mama's on the stove.
And hardware.
Mama's on the stove.
That's close right there. That is crazy. This thing here can match any. Do you know how many preamps we went through? Both hardware and plug-in. And this thing can adjust and get damn near the same tone. That is wild. Let's play it with the music, man. Let's play it with the music. Hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Plug in.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs
hardware.
And bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and
plug
bacon.
in.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove
hardware.
for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Plug in.
Eggs and bacon.
I think we heard enough, man. The Mo67, man, is just giving us aggressive, controlled aggressive. It's almost like, you know what I'm saying, playing basketball against LeBron James. You know he's aggressive, you know he's fluid, you know he's fast, but he's not overexerting his power. It's just fluid, you know what I'm saying? And that's what this plugin is doing. If I had to choose, it would be 67. The hardware, even though it's good, it sounds really, really good, to be honest with you, for a subpar $280 unit. Yes, $280 unit. Sounds really, really good. I'm just saying, bro. God damn. This one plugin can do it all. All right, cool deal, man. So, what we got here is the Neve 1073 from UAD. All right, so we already have it set at a line volume. We have everything matched to the original source. Ain't too much we got to do about this, so let me go ahead and set everything back the way I had it before, and I'm quite sure we are going to I'm quite sure we're gonna have to make some adjustments. All right, let's start off with the UAD 1073. Here we go.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
We listen to the 1073.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs
67.
and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs
1073.
and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
73.
Mama's on the stove, cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove,
1073.
cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the
67.
stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
So what I did, brought in the high impedance, brought down the mil core.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
1073.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Damn, that's close. 67.
Mama's on the stove.
73.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
73.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Damn, that's close. 67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
So I brought down the mil core one notch.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
73.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
67.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and
Neve.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Neve.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Damn, that's close, man. That is crazy. So again, you know what I'm saying? We did some customization, brought in the high Z, you know what I'm saying? Matched the mil core. Pretty much got the same tone. That's awesome. Last but not least, man, we have another hardware unit, and it's going to be the MP73. We're going to keep the EQ engaged because the top end on the Mo67, we're just going to keep the EQ circuit engaged, but there's nothing, everything on the EQs are set at default. The only thing we have adjusted is the output so we can gain stage and everything like that. But basically you're going to be hearing the preamp gain stage coming through the EQ circuit and then out through the output circuit and everything like that. This particular unit does have input transformers and output transformers and another transformer inside. So this ain't no sleeper unit. You need to go look up Alctron MP73 EQ version 2. This is a sleeper. This is a sleeper. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and basically keep our settings as we did on the Neve UAD Neve 1073 because our hardware is based on the same thing. It's a clone. It's a 1073 clone. All right. So I'm gonna go back and forth and you know what I'm saying, basically test out to hear the difference. All right, you guys are ready? Yeah, you guys are ready for this? Let's check this out. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, let's go to the plugin.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, we're gonna pop out the high Z. Let's hear it again.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
All right, let's go to hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon.
That's crazy. Let's bring up the mil core just a little bit. And here's the plugin.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
That's a goddamn shame. Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Alctron.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, let's bring down the Mo mil core just a tad bit. All right, one notch. Here we go. Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Alctron.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
That's crazy. Mo.
Mama's on the stove.
Alctron.
Mama's on the stove.
Damn it. Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Let's bring down the preamp one notch.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Alctron.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Ooh, that Alctron sounds a tad bit wilder than the Mo. Here we go. Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Alctron.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove.
All right, cool. Let me bring these plugins close together so I can hit that button. Let's ask the same thing. I'm going to play the music and I'm going to see if you hear the difference. I'm not going to even go say anything. I'm just going to go back and forth and I'm going to play the loop 2 times. Here we go. I'm going to start out with the hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
All right, so what I did was pop in the high Z. Let's check it out right now. So this is going to be the Mo.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
And this is the hardware.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
I think that's it right there. Let's play it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. No talking.
Mama's on the stove for cooking grits.
Hardware.
Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs and bacon. Mama's on the stove for cooking grits. Eggs.
That is a goddamn shame, man. I distinctively can't hear if I'm not paying attention, but the Mo67 got it by a tidget, just based on the high mid sheen. I mean, just like it can match everything. You just got to go in there and fine tune it like crazy. I don't want to spend the whole video on here, but the high end on the Mo67, it shines, bro. It's very, very, very polished and aggressive in a good way. You know what I'm saying? That is very, very awesome, man. So, hey, man, that concludes our shootout with the Hilbe Mo67 preamp, man. Let me tell you something. Let me say something here, man. This bad boy right here is a motherfucking beast, man. This goddamn preamp is a beast. It is a beast, man. We have went through, I know, more than 8 different preamps, if not 8 different preamps in different circuitries, tube, solid state, different amps, different op amps, different transformers, different come on, man, different amplifiers. And this thing, just by adjusting the mill core circuitry, the preamp, the high Z, the fat, and the ohm button, you getting close to it. And it's still kicking ass and taking names because of that top end sheen. It just, I don't know, man. Hey, look, man, download the trial. You have to try it for yourself, man. You have to try it for yourself, man. You have to try it for yourself. You have to try it for yourself, man. Look here, man. It's awesome. Look, I'm gonna show you guys the website, man. Look, check this out, man. Look. Check this out. Go to TomHilbe.com. I don't work for these folks. I'm just shouting out good equipment, man. I'm shouting out good gear. I'm shouting out great plugins, man. They have 3 great plugins. The Fat plugin, the Mo5, and the Mo67, man. I ain't never heard of this company before, but god damn it, they on my radar goddamn right now. You feel me? Yes, you can get a free trial of all 3 of these plugins. I think it's 14 days, or it's 7-day trial. 7-day trial, and you can also get the perpetual license. You can buy it from the website itself, or you can go to Plugin Fox and get it for yourself. Now, it is a hefty price tag, kind of like how UAD is when they don't run sales. It is a $199 purchase of the Mo67, the Mo5, and the Fat is at $99. But I'm gonna be honest with you, if I had to pick one, shit, I'll pick all of them. I'll pick all of them. But the Mo5 and the Mo67, they both have fat features. So if you're an R&B singer, I would definitely go with the Mo5. The reason why is because if you sing, you're naturally, when you're singing, you're naturally are going to have a airiness in your voice. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I think the Mo5 will shine at, because you can make the adjustments on the Mo circuitry, and you can get that fine tune that you need. I'm afraid if you're a singer and you get the Mo67, or if you're an engineer, you engineer for singers, if you get the Mo67, it's just going to be too much top end, and you're going to be doing a lot of EQing behind the preamp. You understand what I'm saying? So I would say the Mo5 is perfect for R&B singers, and the Mo67 is one of those joints, man. You can use it on everything, but just be mindful of the high end on the Mo67. It's whew, but for a rapper, with a person like myself, I have a lot of low end on my voice. That Mo67 is perfect for my voice and whatnot, because it just adds the icing on the cake, man. Hey, man, this has been your boy Super Mario, man. You have been in the yo, man. If you found this video useful and you like this video, go ahead and hit a like on here, subscribe to this channel for more content right here. We're going to be doing some more shootouts like this and stuff like that when I come across a really, really good plugin that's worth doing it or whatnot, man. Yeah. We had fun today, man. We had fun today. This was part 3 of part 3 series of the Hilbe mic preamp plugin showdown with my commonly used tools in my studio and whatnot, man. Won't you do the same? See what works for you. If you like it, go ahead and get it. But at $199, if you're listening, Hilbe company, the company, bring that price down about $100. You got to bring it down about $100, man. Then you have a lot of people buying it, if you want to make money and stuff like that, because nobody's not going to pay $200 for a plugin. You got to have them sales. So, hey, I hope you come across this video and you listen. Bring the plugin down. It's worth the price. If you're going to have anything, have the Mo67 at $99, the Mo5 at $75, and then the Fat at about $50. And trust me, your bank account will thank me. Hey, man, this has been your boy Super Mario, man. Y'all stay creative out there, man. And check out the Hilbe mic pre plugins, man. We out, man. Peace.